What's going on, you guys? An American here. This is my first video. I just started this channel. I started it because I have a lot of political opinions and I wanted to get them out rather than just post on Facebook. And today's topic is, you're not African American, you're American. I find often that I run into people, and it's actually pretty commonplace, they just say, I'm African American. And then my question to them is, well, why aren't you an American? Have you gone to Africa? Has your parents gone to Africa? Has your grandparents gone to Africa? Has your great-great-grandparents gone to Africa? And 9 times out of 10, black Americans will have actually no direct correlation or connection to the continent of Africa, which that's another subject, but we're going to get into that. When people ask me what I am, I don't say I'm white, I say I'm an American. I was actually born in Germany on a military base. My parents were military, but I identify myself as an American versus a color or a race because, well, first off, there's no white coalition. There might be like the KKK or whatever, but I don't identify myself to a hidden racial pact. It's actually kind of funny because that's what you're doing. I mean, so you know, I don't understand it. And it directly relates to our social problems. Let's talk about Trayvon Martin, for instance. There's so much racial tension going into that case with blacks versus whites, and if you didn't look at it as an American youth shot or killed by another American, you're a racist. That's just how it is. I mean, it's the same thing with the murder of the World War II vet, Delbert Belton. People are doing the same thing. 2 black teens killed a white World War II vet. Instead of looking at it as an American killed another American, or an American youth killed an American elder, they instantly go to the race. There's a racial division. Like there's some hidden race war. And it's really sad because at what point do you stop identifying yourself as an African? I mean, I've actually been to Africa, a specific part of Africa. I've been to East Africa, which is the Horn. And it's kind of ignorant to call yourself African American because I looked it up. There's about 55 to 65 African nations in the continent of Africa, which are so diverse in their cultures, and each country is different and different social groups, that it's impossible to identify yourself to the entire continent of Africa. And I spent some brief time in Djibouti, and it was ironic is Africans there weren't racist towards me, especially being a blue-eyed white guy, big white guy. It was black Americans that they didn't like. They didn't like what they saw on TV. They didn't like the media they saw, BET. They didn't like the rap culture. And a lot of the black NCOs and sergeants that went over there to Africa with us got a lot of prejudice from local nationals that were real Africans. They didn't understand. They saw the black man as the bad guy, which is the way he's portrayed in American media and in the judicial system. So it's kind of funny that you identify yourself with a continent that doesn't want anything to do with you. And I can't speak for the whole continent, but I did go to a small part of Africa and got a taste of it. So, and they didn't identify themselves back to American culture. They didn't want anything to do with it. So, and we can assume. Let's talk about the last slave brought to America. Slavery officially ended in 1865. So, there's no, like I said, when we're going back to the great-great-great-grandfather, unless he was like the last slave on the boat from Africa, then you're not African, you're an American. And when we stop identifying ourselves with races and start seeing everybody as American and not a color, then we can start to be unified. And as a country, we'd be so much stronger. And the last thing I want to talk about is just the social interaction of black Americans versus white Americans. And you often see that, black Americans will say, what's up, brother, or, instantly have this pact or bond with another black American. White people don't have that. If I see a white guy on the street, I don't know you. I'm not your friend. I don't want to help you out. I don't know anything about you. I don't know if you're a Republican, a Democrat. And I have no allegiance to you just because your color is the same color as mine. So, that's another thing is, black Americans tend to band together like that, which I can understand, back in the day, the 1860s, 1800s, 1900s, they had to band together because the life was so harsh and so rough. They had to do that. So it was instantly you saw another, a black person, you had to band together so you could survive. As 2013, you don't have to do that anymore. Nobody's posting signs to keep you off the bus or out of the bathroom and white-only fountains. That stuff's not there anymore. We have a black president. Well, he's half black anyway. He's an American. So, I mean, it's time to get with the times. Stop identifying yourself as a race and start identifying yourself as an American and be proud of America. If you like Africa so much, then by all means, you can go back to the continent. And I'll tell you this, I only saw a small part of it, but it was a dump. Okay, it was full of culture, but there's people scooping off mud water off the streets out of sewage drains to drink. No infrastructure. It's hot. It's nasty. It's dirty. There's disease. Nothing really to be, awesomely proud about. The culture was nice, and I did experience quite a bit of it. But that Back to Africa movement. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, have you ever actually been to Africa? So you're talking about going back to a place you've never been to. So, I mean, that baffles me beyond belief. But, and I'm going to share some pictures on my page so you can see some pictures of the places I went in Africa. And basically, they built entire towns and neighborhoods out of trash. But by all means, if you don't like suburban America, you can go back to that if you feel so entitled to. But please like, share, subscribe, comment. I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this because I mean, it's a YouTube channel. People are going to go crazy, especially over a subject as as hot as this. But I'd like to hear what you guys think about me, about my view, about my opinion, and about anything really. So feel free to comment. Just fill in what you feel. So thanks for watching.